Hello, and welcome to the Cool Science Virtual Art Exhibition celebration for Merrimack Valley participants. Please join us in recognizing the work of our middle school honorees. Runner-up,
Benjamin Hart, grade 6, Westford, Massachusetts, Stony Brook Middle School. I chose to address the challenge question that I chose, how can your community prepare for extreme flooding, by showing simple yet effective ways that people can protect themselves from flooding. My choice of words, flood preparation, refers to the ways that people can protect themselves from extreme flooding. I chose to use those two words because those certain actions will help people prepare and be safe from flooding. I included a seawall to represent protection from storm surge, which accounts for a lot of flooding. Recurve seawalls are even more effective, so I decided to draw one as well. I also included houses near rivers and oceans being above stilts or garages, which helps protect houses from the damage caused by extreme flooding. I thought that those examples could serve by creating ideas for future innovations to protect against severe flooding, because if we can create and use things like these, flood damage will be reduced and many lives will be saved.
runner-up,
My name is Huang, and I am a 6th grader. I live in Westford, Massachusetts, and attend Stony Brook Middle School. This is my artist statement about my piece of artwork, which answers the question, how to stay cool in a heat wave. I address the question provided by this challenge through its title, How to Stay Cool. In my work, I am trying to tell people how to stay cool in a heat wave, which is important because heat stroke is very dangerous. I created my artwork this way because I thought it would convey information to people looking at it and be clear to them, and I tried not to make it confusing using words as a solution. I was mostly not encouraged to use materials in new ways by the art competition, but I did use colored pencils slightly differently by using the side of the tip to color some of the sky. During this project, I learned 5 different ways to stay cool, which are drink lots of water, cover the windows, eat fruit, sleep downstairs, and wear white clothes. I was inspired by this competition to use different sizes of paper. The ones we used in the contest were 24-inch by 9-inch, which was 23 by 8-inch, when the borders were cropped. It makes different effects depending on the size, which is a very useful trick. I hope people will look at my artwork and know how to stay cool in hot weather, which is becoming a larger issue as the climate rises. This concludes my artist statement. I hope you understood more about my experience in this project and the artwork itself.
runner-up,
My name is Sabina Lochtefeld, and I am in 6th grade. I am from Ipswich, Massachusetts, and I am a homeschooler. This is my artist statement. I know that the process of the formation of a storm is from the heat from the sun being absorbed by the ground, and then if the day gets cold, the heat is released from the ground, and the heat from below and the cold from above meet, creating energy which makes a round storm cloud. But I simplified the process in my artwork because I wanted to make it bold, not very complicated, and easy to read from a distance. In my artwork, I am trying to say that heat from the ground and cold from the air come together to create a severe storm. I use bright blue for the cold and orange-yellow for the heat, because orange and blue are complementary colors. The reason I wrote the words, when heat and cold meet, was because heat and meat rhyme. To make the poster, acrylic paint, which I applied to the poster with a sponge and a paint roller, which is something I have not done before. The inspiration for the colors, blue and orange, was a sunrise or a sunset. The inspiration for the way I did the text was from a book cover, and part of the inspiration for the storm cloud and the rain was the rainy day that I made the poster on. I hope that people who see the poster will learn about how a severe storm forms, because that is what I have learned while making my poster.
runner-up,
Hello, this is Farinella. I'm in 7th grade and I homeschool. I'm from Beverly, Massachusetts, and this is my artist statement. The challenge question that I chose to answer for my project was, how can you stay cool during a heat wave? I chose that topic because it's something that can affect people here in Massachusetts. and people need to know how to stay safe. In my poster, I answered this question by drawing different ways families can stay cool and avoid overheating. They can wear loose, light-colored clothes and a broad sun hat, and make sure to always apply sunblock. It's important to stay hydrated by drinking lots of fluids, avoid leaving pets or children in the car, and try to avoid the outdoors or seek shade between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. when the sun is at its strongest. I feel like the cool science art competition made me pay more attention to advertising outside the home and figure out how to use my materials to fit well on such a specifically sized poster. It also made me want to learn more about weather patterns and extreme weather and how they affect various communities. I hope that when people see my artwork, it will inspire them to be more careful during heat waves and educate them about what to do. If people don't know about heat stroke and cautions to take to avoid one, my goal is that after seeing this poster, they will learn about it.
Winner, Anushka Tekade.
6th grade, Westford, Massachusetts, Stony Brook Middle School. I chose to answer challenge question number 3. How can your community prepare for extreme flooding? By drawing people getting ready for a storm surge and working together to keep everyone safe. Preparing for extreme flooding is really important to make sure you and your community don't get hurt. There are many ways to avoid or get rid of water, including drains, levees, and moving to higher grounds. You only need about a foot of moving water to move your car, so you should move your car and valuables to higher grounds so that they are not damaged. Levees are walls that block the water from coming in, so having them in front of your community is essential to keeping water out of your community. If water does come into your community, drains will be helpful to get rid of some of the water. There are also many other ways to keep you safe, like cleaning out gutters and building your house on tilts. I hope people will learn a few ways to keep themselves and their community safe by preparing themselves to make sure no one gets hurt. Preparing for extreme flooding is very important to ensure no one is hurt and no buildings are severely damaged. The more we prepare for flooding, the number of people who pass away from extreme flooding will be decreased.
Winner.
My name is Sherry Yee. I am in 6th grade in Stony Brook Middle School, Westford, Massachusetts. I chose to answer the question, how can your community prepare for extreme flooding? By making this art showing the community how a flood starts, so you can look out for the signs of one and be cautious and evacuate before it starts. Flooding can start in many ways. For example, flooding can be caused by too much rainfall in a short amount of time. More ways could be storm surges, when there is a storm and the level of seawater rises rapidly and crashes ashore. If you live near a dam or barrier, you should acknowledge that if the barrier breaks, it could cause a large amount of water to flow in. Lastly, there are glaciers, snow, and ice. I didn't add this into my art because in this scenario, there probably wouldn't be glaciers where there were beaver dams and palm trees. When too much snow or ice melts, there is a possibility it could flood the area. I hope that people will learn about what causes a flood. There are many ways a flood can start, and if you realize that you are living near the coast and the waves are larger and more aggressive than normal, you might not realize that a flood could happen soon if those waves continue to grow and come ashore. Once people understand why a flood can start, we can be more aware of the surroundings and predict when a flood will happen and evacuate before it starts.